Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Word, my 33 brother. What's going on? What up, nine? Uh, let's just get into it, right? As you sit back and observe and watch people, it is amazing me. It is amazing to me how people are running from things. It's amazing how people deflect on things instead of reflect on things that work, right? We gotta sit here and really examine ourselves because at the end of the day, we all, including myself, we have to ask ourselves, what are we running from? And I'm pretty sure everybody's going to ask, what do you mean what I'm running from? For example, there's things that has worked in the past. Chi, good evening. There's things that have worked in the past that none of us seem to want to use in today's aspect. Shakira, good evening. How you doing? Right? We have to sit here and ask ourselves, why are we not using what has worked in the past, right? Why are we deflecting the things that has been a mainstay, a focus, a foundation in our family lives, our tribal lives, our community lives, and we seem to just push it to the side, right? We all remember there will be times where, Lady Shay, good evening, we can, we can allow our kids to spend the night at a neighbor's house because we was all neighbors and we all knew each other and we knew each other's kids and we knew each other's mothers and things of that nature. Oh wow, what just happened? Y'all forgive me. East Dad, CC, good evening. Yeah, I had technical difficulties. Something shut down on my side of the world. But going back to what I was saying, why are we deflecting the things that was working for us, right? We used to have neighbors that, you know, could chastise us. We used to can go hang out in front of the stoops all times of the day. We used to have parents that, would share with other neighbor parents and all of those things, right? But now let's look at ourselves, right? Let's take a time to reflect on ourselves. What are we running from? Are we understand that we are all grown. We all live in our lives. But what are we running from? What thing are we running from in the past that could be used as a reflection of our everyday life? Meaning what happened before that we can use today? Why are we not using the things of yesterday? Are we putting our egos in front of us to where we don't need what yesterday had in order to make our own identity? Are we afraid that some of us will be called copycats? Are we afraid that, what are we afraid of? There's a lot to be afraid of. Some people make, Cheeky says selfish. There's a lot of us that are putting me in front of the team. Just because there's an M and an E in team doesn't mean it's about you, right? But let's just reflect on ourselves, right? Most of us have children. How is our children going to see us? Are we running from the fact that we could be looking bad in front of our kids, that we're not teaching our kids correctly? Are we running from the fact that we don't know how to have a selfish moment to where we can build on ourselves and we just gonna keep going with the flow? Are we running from the fact that instead of me being kind and considerate and standing out alone, I want to blend in with the world? There's a lot of things that's going on that we can reflect instead of deflect, right? But the question is, why is it that we're not using what we have? Lady Shay says, in my opinion, it happens. Self will be the biggest enemy. And that's the thing. It's okay. Like Lady Shay, my thing is this. It's okay to be selfish with yourself, but you got to understand why you need to be selfish with yourself. The improvement of self is something that we all need to sit back and look at, right? How can I improve? I mean, my thing is, I don't like the word change, right? I think I was telling Shakira this. I don't like the word change because you can always change, but you can also, it's very possible that you could change for the worse. So if you can change for the worse, what good is a change? I like the word improve because I've never heard anybody improve to be worse. You see what I mean? So for me, if you're going to be selfish to improve. If you examining yourself as a, and your self-reflect, be ready to improve on what you need to improve on. Don't just change your outward look. Change your inside look. Better yet, improve all of it. You see what I'm saying? Because you could change. People get, like, not to be funny, people getting BBLs and then it's falling, it falls apart. You know what I mean? People are getting tummy tucks and they still looking like it didn't work. Things are happening for a reason. You're not even improving. You're being selfish in that manner, and the change is for the worse. You're not even improving on yourself. Improve from the inside out. We all need to improve from the inside out. Let's just stop being ridiculous with ourselves and be truthful with ourselves. What do I need to do to improve myself? I am running from the fact that my way is not working. That's what I feel. I'm running from that. There are people that are standing still. There are people that are standing on that foundation that nothing is working, but that's my foundation and I'm sticking to it. They don't want to re-solidify their foundation. They want to stand there like this is the end all be all. And guess what? There's cracks all around it, and you can't even. What you gonna do? You gonna crazy glue those foundations? No, you got to get to the root of the problem and figure out what's wrong with it. And sometimes it takes us. What are we running from? Are we running from the fact that most of us need help? A lot of us men, we put our egos in front of everything and not say, you know what? I need help. I need to have a conversation with my brother. I need to have a conversation with Word. Yo, Word, what's up? Da, 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 da. The ego makes your confidence look so small that it shatters whatever confidence that you even had in the first place. But we're running from the fact that it's our ego that's in the way. We'll stand there, we'll stand tall on it. Oh man, I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm doing. I don't need nobody's help. I don't need nobody to talk to. I don't need nobody to lean on. When in fact, we don't even understand that no man is an island. You know, No, Lady Shay, you keep going because I'm here. I'm gonna get to your points in a minute. You keep no, you keep going. But at the end of the day, we gotta reflect on what's wrong with us instead of deflecting that somebody else is the cause of our problem. We gotta reflect on the fact that the things that our grandparents did, they stood in the mud. They went through the storms. They made it through the storms. We just think we deflect like I ain't even gonna try to go through the storm. Everybody's gonna have a storm. There's gonna be a rainy day. Just like there's a lot of us that don't even understand there used to be something called a rainy day fund. The way this thing is going, nobody has a rainy day fund because it's being spent before we even touch it. But instead of standing there and trying to figure that out, we run away from the problems. It's time for us to look in the mirror. It's amazing how we lose three great songwriters, right? We lose Michael Jackson, we lose Prince, and we lose Whitney Houston, right? Let's just think about their songs, right? Michael Jackson always tell you, I gotta make the change. Start with the man in the mirror. Make the change, right? Whitney Houston tells you the greatest love of all is inside of you. It's easy to achieve. Learning to love yourself is the greatest love of all. And Prince, with his many magical moments, is just telling you, man, just reflect on yourself. Look inside yourself. It's inside of you. But soon as that momentum is gone, their music is gone, their work, their vocals, their voice is gone, so to speak. We forget what they're telling us. Now we sitting here listening to Drake. We sitting here listening to all these other people. We're hearing music, but not listening for understanding. It's time for us to sit there and say, yo, we need to stand tall. Stop running from a situation. What is my role in the situation? I can't be in a relationship because I can't be in a relationship with myself. But too many people is running from the fact that they're a problem. Too many people are running from the fact that they don't have a solution to themselves. People don't want to examine themselves to find out that there's something within them that could resolve all of their problems. There's people running from the fact that they're storehouses. There's people running from all type of different aspects, right? I don't care what people say. Okay, the Bible could be man-made. The Bible can be a bunch of things. But one thing it can be, it can tell you how to look into yourself and figure it out. But the fact that we don't even want to take the time to read, that's why we look crazy and people tell us all you got to do is put something in a book. They won't find it. But because we are where we are, we're just going to continue to run. We might as well be called Forrest because we're running from everything but what we're supposed to stand for. The truth, ourselves, love, compassion, whatever you want to look at. But the fact that we continuously running from a situation is not helping us, it's hurting us. Yeah, Cheek, we gotta read everything because there's so much information inside. Shout out to Cheeky and Shakira. Shout out to my favorite history seekers. I promise y'all need to link up with them because they be finding things. Y'all might think it's small, but every piece of information is a plus. It's an improvement of understanding and wisdom. We need to understand that everything that there's a lesson to everything that's been done, and we as melanated people, what they would call color people, we have been through so much that we can learn from any and every one of us. Whether it's good, bad, or indifferent is on you. It's your decision. But we can find information and growth in each and every one of these people that Cheeky and Shakira has talking about. Y'all check their channels out because they do some amazing work, right? And that's the thing that I keep talking about. You gotta understand that every piece of information helps. Everything helps. Everything can improve you. There's things that can lift you up that you may not feel was even strong enough, but it touches your soul to where it can elevate it to another level. If we stand the hell still and stop running from everything, we can understand that every piece of information counts. Every conversation counts. Even if you're just talking from to one person or another, it counts. It matters. So you got to understand what's best for you is what's best for you. Continue to be who you are. Continue to seek elevation in yourself. Stop running from the fact that we all need help. Fellas, it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to say, yo, I need to have a conversation with someone that has a little bit of wisdom and understanding. It's okay to have that. Ladies, it's okay to say, you know what? I need help to understand why I'm not achieving what I want to achieve, why I can't find what I need to find. It's okay to ask those questions. I know, I get it. We don't want nobody to use it against us that we became vulnerable. But if we're strong all the time, we can easily be broken. So why not be vulnerable to build yourself up in the first place? Thank you, Cheeky. And that's the thing that I want everybody to understand. We need to take time to stop running. Your legs ain't tired. Your heart ain't pumping. For a lot of people, your heart is pumping Kool-Aid. Oops, my bad. But at the same time, it ain't pumping nothing for you to regenerate your body, to regenerate your mind. Stand still and allow what's inside of you to work on you. You are a storehouse for a reason. Go look inside yourself and find what you need to do to elevate yourself, to improve yourself, to grow yourself. Stop being grown all the damn time. If you continuously be grown, you never have room to grow. Don't stunt your own growth. Stop running. Matter of fact, some of us is running and we don't even have legs to stand on. It's impossible, but probable. Close your eyes and imagine what I'm telling you. We have to understand that we are running from situations that starts with us. I can't be a good boyfriend if I don't know what I need in life. You can't be a all right, Lady Shay, here we go. Quick question. Do you think something that is broken cannot be rebroken if it wasn't fixed first? Let me read that again. Quick question. Do you think something that is broken cannot be rebroken if it wasn't fixed first? Well, I'm gonna close my eyes because you are a very intelligent person, so I gotta make sure I read this correctly. Do you think something that is broken cannot be rebroken? Of course, something that could be broken can be rebroken. But then you ask if it wasn't fixed first. If it wasn't fixed first, it can't be broken because it was never healed. So a broken person can't be healed if they never was a broken person can't be broken if they was never healed. And that's what I'm trying to say. We so quick for we so quick and instantaneously running from pain that we don't want to heal. We'll stay broken and talk about we're healed. We got to stop running from the healing process. The healing process means you're going to have to sit down somewhere in a closet or in isolation. You can't keep worrying about what the world thinks about you. You have to be, you have to, right word, you got to, it has to be fixed. So if it ain't fixed, it can't be rebroken. That means because if it's rebroken, it means it has to be healed to be broke again. So there are people that's not even healing in the first place. So if you're not healing in the first place, you can't even be fixed. You're not even broke. You're not rebroken. You're still broke. You're broken in a joke. You got lint in your pockets. You got lint in your mind. You got lint in your soul. How is that? Because you're not able to understand what it needs for you to be fixed because you're too busy running from the fact that you're broken. And that's the thing that we need to talk about. That's the conversation that we need to have. There's so many people out here think they got it figured out, but you broke as hell. Not financially, not you don't even have the understanding to know that your abundance is what keeps you healed in the first place. But instead of you having abundance, you have emptiness. And your emptiness, you running on fumes, you just sitting there, you running with one toe and think you're going somewhere. You're still running in a circle. There's a reason why there were people wandering in the wilderness for 40 years. And the even crazier story is, even though they was wandering in the wilderness, right? All of those adults were dying. The kids may have made it to the land of milk and honey, but a lot of them was all screwed up because they had no knowledge of what was going on. They don't know what's going on. They just going in circles. They following what's in front of them. You got to be the seeker of understanding. You got to be the seeker of healing. You got to make sure that you not just taped up. You got to make sure that the crazy glue is in the gorilla glue is in the right place, so to speak. But a lot of us, we've been running so much, we don't even understand the glue of the family is gone. And instead of trying to find a new thing to seal a family or to seal yourself, you just sitting there running like a chicken with his head cut off. What are we running from? Why are we even running? Why are we afraid to admit that something's going on? Where it says a band-aid doesn't fix the wound, it only shields it while the body heals. People walking around with band-aids thinking they're healed. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. You know, when I tell people like, yo, you can be healed from diabetes, they look at me like I'm crazy. Because sometimes you got to understand, you got to find the root of the problem. But if you're so busy running, you don't have time to look at the root. You'll just say, you know what? Let me just make sure my sugar levels is up. Let me make sure that I have enough insulin to get me through a day. Instead of saying, well, why? What is blocking my pancreas from doing what it needs to do? We won't do that. We so instantaneously, we so microwave world society today that we that's all we do is we run. And people don't even understand that, you know, we're in a we're in a pace race. We're in a marathon. The race is never given to the swift nor the strong, but those who endure. If you keep running, you can't endure because you're gonna outpace yourself, and you're not gonna make it to the finish line. The goal is to make it to the finish line. The goal is to make sure that you have enough energy to say, you know what, I made my 26.2 miles in this thing called life. I was productive in this thing called life. But if you keep running, you're gonna miss all the water spots to rehydrate you, to refuel you, to give you the energy that you need to continue your race. You have to pace yourself. We all have to pace yourself. Yeah, nobody they running a marathon going nowhere quick, right? And that's the rats. And the rats ain't doing nothing but sitting there. They stopping each other, Lady Shay. They're not doing nothing real but stopping themselves. And they worse than the crabs. Because the crab is just holding you down. The rat trying to bite you and take you and eat you. The crab is like, nah, nigga, you ain't going nowhere. You stay in this barrel with me. The rat trying to jump on your head, and another one trying to bite your tail, and they're gonna collab and eat you. That's the way of the world. Just because you live in the world don't mean you have to be of it. You could be an exception to a rule. Your job is not to be running through the world. Your job is to sit there and make sure that you can walk through a storm. Yeah, it may be you got an umbrella, but the fact is, even with that little umbrella in that monsoon, you're being wet so little that it ain't you just think it's a mist while people are going through storms. Those are the paces that you need to worry about. Stop running all the damn time. Take your time and evaluate what's in front of you. Take your time and evaluate what you are ready to leave behind. Stop just running with the baggage that you claimed and it's taken from you, or you taking it with you. All baggage ain't good baggage. All gold ain't good gold. The grass ain't always green on the other side. It definitely ain't greener in your side because your side you just got dirt. It's a drought out here. People know what I'm talking about. It's a drought, right? So some people may go outside and see that they got patches in their grass. Why? Because They ain't taking the time to water what they need to water. Lisa J, good evening. You got to understand. Stop running. Where are you running to? Go somewhere and sit down and evaluate what's going on in your life. Start with you and work your way on down to wherever else you need to go. Sit down and say, yo, what can I do to improve myself? If you in a situation, what can I do to better improve my situation? If it's a relationship, if it's a fight against anxiety, if it's a fight against depression, if it's to maintain your marriage. Everything ain't peachy keen in this world. And if it is, you one hell of a person. Because if you got it going on like that, then man, listen, we need to be listening to you. It may not work for us, but we will listen because it's working for you. And always remember, as you running, right, and you pointing like you leaving somebody, as soon as you pointed like you dusting somebody off, there's three fingers looking pointing back at you like, hey, somebody about to dust you. Selena, good evening. And that's the thing that we have to understand. What are you running? What are you running from? And what more important, what are you running to? Where are you going? What's your destination? You just running to run? You know the exercise that people's like, yo, watch this. If I run, everybody gonna run. Oh my god! And they just running, and everybody don't even ask questions. They just running. Stop being a listen. You only supposed to be a follower until you understand that you must lead. And if you understand you must lead, that you will be leading soon, you will not be running, but you will be steadily sitting back and observing. You would rather be in last place while all those other people are running. Why? Because they're going to run themselves out, and then you're going to be like the head. You're going to come in first place, and you're going to be victorious. So you got to understand what's going on out here. You got to understand why you're running. Stop just making. If you want a team, stop making it about you. There is no I in team, so people gonna put me instead of team because there's an M and an E in it. You understand what I'm saying? So we have to figure out where you going, where you running to, what's your destination. Ask yourselves, what is your destination in life right now? What is it that you want in life? And if you understand what your destination in life is, are you walking towards it? Are you pacing yourself towards it? Or are you running towards it? And really evaluate yourself with understanding. And don't lie to yourself, because you only lying to yourself. You ain't lying to nobody else but yourself. Stop running. Pace yourself. Matter of fact, walk. Walk while it's day, because you get to see everything in the daytime. If it's nighttime in your life, I can understand why you're running. But even if it's nighttime in your life, stand still, find somewhere safe. Because sooner or later, that sunrise is going to happen in your life. That storm is going to end in your life. And what they say, there's always a rainbow to allow you to understand that storm is not going to be as heavy as it was. So stop running. Take your time. Pace yourself. Understand that you guys are important. You are all important. If you ain't important to nobody else, you're important to yourself. Your life is important. Your presence is important. Your wisdom is important. You guys are all storehouses. You guys have value to life. Y'all think it's just a coincidence that we all are speaking to each other right now? We all greeting each other? No, I promise you, I have learned something from each and every person that is in this chat. And for me, that's what makes me want to walk instead of run. Because you guys have concepts, you guys have input that may not make sense to nobody else, but it makes sense to me. It allows me to say, you know what? Let me evaluate what they're telling me. Let me stop running and take a second. And if it applies to my life, I can sit there and want more. You guys are feeding us. Well, you're feeding me, not us. Y'all feeding me. Each and every, from Shakira to East Dad, the word to CC. You guys are all feeding. And that's the beautiful thing about this thing called life. There are people that want to see you prosper. But you ain't gonna prosper if you running around like you ain't got no damn sense. You running around with no understanding of what you need to do, no understanding of what your goal is, no understanding of who you need to be. What are you running from? Some people are running from greatness. Why? What's their point of running from greatness? They don't have a clue. They just running. And now they sitting there looking stupid because now they're running out of air. Their legs hurt. They're catching cramps. They ain't fuel themselves up enough to where they need to understand that they need to stop running so goddamn much. So the question is, like I said, what are you guys running from? Where are you guys really going? What is your goal? Where's your destination? Where you running to the store to get drunk? You know what where you running to run to that meaningless relationship that has no concept of love in it? Where you running to a person that's sitting there that's abusing your kindness and making you weak at the same time? Where you running to? Like I said, the first place we got to look is examine ourselves. Let's examine ourselves. Let's see what we are, understand what we are worth. You can't feel like you the greatest person in the world and then turn around and running in and being manipulated by weak-minded people. You can't say you the best person in the world, but you're isolated from it because you're afraid that people are going to harm you. Yes, there are people that's going to use your kindness for a weakness, but you have to understand there's people that's going to help you elevate yourself. Stop running. Take your time and walk. Take your time and understand what's going on around you. Because at the end of the day, we are all in need of pace. We are all in need of someone saying, hey, listen, man, you got this. There's nothing wrong with encouraging somebody, but you got to understand if the person is on their path correctly. And even if they're not on their path, you're going to have the patience to help them get to where they need to be. Because people are running on the wrong side of the road. People are driving on the wrong side of the road. And they don't even care if there's a head-on collision coming in their life. I believe that each and every one of you that's here tonight are not like them people. I think y'all want better for yourselves. Well, I know y'all want better for yourselves because I'm not going to believe nothing, because believe leaves doubt. I know that you want to better yourselves. It's not a doubt in my mind that everybody wants to be the best them. But if you're running around with no goal, if you're running around with no concept, you ain't doing nothing but running yourself raggedy. It's time for you to pace yourself. It's time for you to sit down and relax yourself and really examine what you need to do to be the best you. And that's the thing that we have to understand. We need to do those things for a reason. Now I'm going back to catch up with Lady Shay because she was asking a lot of things. Oh, and laziness, real workers are becoming instinct. I was telling somebody earlier, I said, listen, you can't make a lazy person a worker ant. You have to understand that is in you, and you have to retool that thing so it can be working on all cylinders. Right? If you don't understand that it takes energy to make you the best you're gonna be that lazy person. And because of that, there's a lot of people that's sitting there twiddling their thumbs and thinking that everything okay, and the light and passing them by, and they're getting older and looking crazy at the same time. Standing out on being mimic of someone else and making a blueprint for you. Why are we running from being a blueprint? There's some of us that can actually be occasions to be risen to, but because we are so afraid of being head of the class, we just want to be class clowns all the damn time. There's nothing wrong with being the best. It's something wrong if you're not striving for it. It's something wrong if you don't understand that the better you is better for those people that's around you. If you a parent, if you're not the best parent, do you think your child is going to be great? Because it has no influence. You have an influence on your child. You are your child's first teacher. Never mind pre-K. Never mind a daycare. Your child is going to see you first and foremost. And if they don't see you being your best self, they ain't going to know what to do with themselves. It's people in broken houses that are running around here having kids, but telling people, I don't know how to love. So if you don't know how to love, why are you adding a kid that you can't love? People are sticking their little think things. Two broke people having a broken child, and they ain't even fixed themselves. So what are you gonna do? You can't help a you can't be broken and fix up and have a healthy healing child. It don't make sense. The math ain't mathing. So like I said, what are we running from? The fact that you don't understand that you running from help is a problem. The fact that you don't understand that you running from people that wants you to be your best self is a problem. The fact that you running into a relationship that has no love is a problem. Those are the things that you should be running away from. But instead, you sitting there making that your foundation. You're making chaos your foundation. You're making a piece of nothing, PIECE, of nothing, your foundation, instead of making PEACE your foundation. All because you want to be conformed to the world. All because you want to sit there and you want to keep up with the Joneses and the Browns, not me, but the other Browns and those type of people. Nobody cares about them people because they don't care about themselves. Sometimes you got to sit back and worry about certain people. Sometimes, but you can't love somebody that don't love themselves. There are people that's running from love. There are people that are running from people that's supporting them and running into the arms of people that don't give two rats asses about them. And if you're going to continuously run into those situations, you can't expect a healthy return when you're running into those people. So what are you looking for? What are you running to? What is your expectations of life? You got to understand you are worthy of love. But if you just running around like I don't know what that is, you'll never receive it. You rather work with a handout from a person instead of earning your place. There are people that's so quick from running from a home that they can own to help somebody else pay their mortgage instead of you having the go with all to say, you know what, I can lead this to my child. I can build it this way. But we're running to the wrong places. We're running to the wrong people. We're running into the wrong concepts. And we're running from those people that did right. Like I said, our grandparents, they stood through all those storms. Even if it wasn't right, they made it. Our parents may have, they may have went another route, but they maintained the foundation. Somewhere down the line, we have to understand our foundations ain't right. Somewhere down the line, we have to understand that at the end of the day, we're gonna have to re-solidify this foundation. What am I standing on? Some people gonna stand on religion. Some people gonna stand on their own understanding. I can't tell you which one's gonna work. Whatever works for you is for you. But the one thing you got to understand is you got to see if your foundation is being cracked in the first place. So until you understand that, you could be walking on sinking sand and don't even know it. And that's the thing that we have to understand. If we don't continuously pace ourselves and walk, we don't know where we're going. Slow and steady does win the race. But we live in this microwave society. We need it done quick, fast, in a hurry. And when we do it in quick, fast, in a hurry, we're leaving out certain things, right? Has anybody, have you ever made a meal and you forgot to add the salt and pepper? It tastes bland. You're eating, but you're eating bland food. It doesn't mean it's helping you. It just tastes bland. It don't mean it's satisfying you. We're running into things that's a quick satisfying situation, instead of saying, you know what, slow and steady wins the race. We got something that could be a foundation for the long haul. We have to stop living in this instantaneous world. And as long as we continuously running around like we don't understand what's going on, we're going to continue to live in the microwave society. We need answers now. Sometimes you may not get the answers that you need. Slow down. You might get it in the first quarter of your race. You might get it in the last quarter of your race. But some of us are running so much and so fast and so awkwardly that we're missing all of the stations that we need to pick up. These helps, these evaluations, these aspects of life. All is right. You're still in the same situation. Like I said earlier, you could be one of those people that's going in a circle in the wilderness. Talking about you're gonna make it to the land of milk and honey. Not the way you going. Slow your asses down. Understand what you're running from. If you understand that you're running from something that's not right, that's one thing. But there's a lot of us running from things that are right. A peace of mind, we run from that. All to be in chaos. A loving situation, we run from that. And just in order to be keeping up with John Doe and Jane Doe. We don't need to be with them people. We need to be ourselves. We need to become our own individual selves. We don't even know how to love ourselves sometimes, but we want somebody to love us. How does that work? You don't even know what you want. You talking about you want love. What's love? And don't say it's a secondhand emotion, because if it's a secondhand emotion, what's your first emotion? You don't even know that. You're still running from that too. Hey, shout out to Tina Turner. But y'all understand what I'm saying? We got to understand that we need to slow the heck down. Slow down. Stop running to every destination like it's your final destination. You got time. You got time to walk to the store instead of running to it. It ain't 11:59. The store ain't closing at midnight. Your midnight may not be here. You have time to evaluate yourself. You have time to evaluate your life. Take your time and stop running and see what's in front of you. You could be in a beautiful community, but because you ain't never there, you don't know how beautiful it is. You don't know if it can help you help your kids. You don't know if it's able to assist you in getting extra finances in your life. But you'll never know because you're too busy on a hustle and bustle. That's why, I take the time to say, you know what? Thank you, Cheeky. Thank you, Selena. Thank you, Lady Shay. Thank you, CC. Because at the end of the day, everybody's helping. Even if it's not, you may not think it's a big deal. A bunch of little things can make a big impression. And that's what we got to understand. But as long as you running, you're going to miss those little things. You're going to miss the red flag. You ran past the red flag. Oh, he's cute. Oh, she's cute. And running straight into toxicity instead of running into a peaceful embrace. Some people's peace is chaos. They ain't running from that though. You know what I'm saying? They're not running from none of that. So we have to sit down and really truly understand what's going on. But it starts with us. Like I said, we can't keep listening to today's mumbo jumbo because they're not talking about nothing. And as long as you keep running with today, you forgetting what yesterday has brought us and what it has gotten some of us through. Just take a walk down memory lane. You see, nobody runs down memory lane, but they walk because the memories of what you have, it's a lasting impression on your life. So nobody wants to run through that. So why are we running from everything else? Let's not run from our memories. Let's not run from our of what our families has left us. Stop running from what mommy used to tell you of how to be a young lady. Let's stop running from dad or stepdad in some cases, or uncles or grandparent or granddad telling you how to stand up and be a man. Some of our grandfathers told us to be submissive to ourselves, but we so busy running from the idea of being submissive to anything, men, that your independence is kicking your own ass. And now you sitting there all alone talking about nobody knows what I'm going through. That's your choice. You running from your memories? I hope they bad memories you running from, Lady Shay, because if they good and you running from them, you may be answering your own question. I'm just saying. But at the same time, I know you ain't really running from that memory. You can't be running from a loving memory. Because when it's worth it, you'll sit still. But we think we've turned all of our wants into needs. I want to be loved. So you sit there and take the nonsense from Jane Doe or John Doe. You take the mental abuse from John Doe. You take the emotional abuse from Jane Doe. All because you forgot what love felt like. But you have it in your mind because it was taught to you, it was left behind by that loving parent that you was dealing with, or that loving family member that you was dealing with that's no longer with us. For me, it's simple. I had a loving grandmother that loved everybody. So what do? She's not here. I lived through her memory. What would she want me to do? She would want me to go on out there and say, "Hey, are you okay? Hey, if you need somebody to talk to, I'm here. Hey, if you need a place to stay, you can stay here for a little while. We're gonna figure out how to get your own place. But in the meantime, you can stay here for a couple of days. You got family? Let's talk about your family. Let's have a conversation." But we are running from things like that, all because we trying to keep up with the Joneses. Screw the Joneses. I hope nobody's last name is Jones. It's not personal. But at the end of the day, if you truly understand what this thing is, you shouldn't be running from it. Stop worrying about if people going to talk about you. They're going to talk about you regardless if you're doing the right thing or the wrong thing. Because if you're doing the right thing, they're going to talk about you anyway. So you might as well do the right thing. I'd rather be called I'd rather be called stupid for doing the right thing than being stupid for following a fool into the world of illusions. And that's what we have to understand. We have to continuously do that. Stop running. Take your time. We used to play a game. Let's see if we can run through the traffic. I'm not running through no more traffic. With age comes understanding. You understand that you too old to be running through traffic because your legs ain't what they used to be. But there are people that still running from understanding, running from love, loving from peace, and they don't even know why. But I truly hope and understand that this is not none of the people that's in this chat and none of the people that's going to catch the replay. Just understand what you're running from. Know what you're running from. And if you understand what you're running from, ask yourself why you're running from it. Commander, good evening. And that's what we have to do. We have to understand we have to know why we're running from something. If you're hurt, go and heal yourself. Don't just put Band-Aid on it. If you got a boo-boo, don't just put peroxide on it. It's good to clean it, but you have to heal it. You understand what I'm saying to you? Stop running from everything. Everything is not worth running from. Some of the things that we're running from, we should be running to. And stop running to the nonsense and run from it. If you're going to continuously run into nonsense, you can't be upset about the solutions that's come out of it. You can't be upset if you keep stepping in dog poo, if you running through dog poo. In order to change your life, the bullshit has got to stop in it. And that's what you got to understand. I live by that motto every day, because at the end of the day, if I needed to change, I can't keep playing in bullshit unless I'm gonna and not expect the worst. That's why I don't like change, because you can change for the worse. But if you're trying to improve yourself, there's no room for error. You can only go up. If you in the valley, you always gonna look up to the hill, because you're trying to get the hell out the valley. Not P Valley, you perverts, but the valley. But at the end of the day, if you continuously trying to elevate yourself, you'll no longer you'll forget that you was once in the valley. Pull yourselves up. Stop running from a situation. Evaluate the situation. If it's worth fixing, you fix it. So you just got to understand that the race is never given to the swift nor the strong, but those who endure. And a lot of us have endured. Change could be chained up if you won't link up with the grace of oneness and love. I think you need to tell everybody that again, Lady Shay, because people don't understand what the grace of love can give you. And that's why a lot of people turn into, Christ-like entities, because that grace of love is what allows some of us to continue to be the people that we are, even if our kindness is made into weakness. Yeah, we know some people are going to abuse the privilege, but we know that the ones that need it is going to receive it. But if you keep running from who you're supposed to be, you don't know what grace is really going to be like in your life. So, we all have a lot of work to do. We all have to examine ourselves. We all have to sit down and nitpick what's good for us and what's bad for us. And if a lot of us are being honest, we know that the good is outweighing the bad, but not by much. So we have to understand it's time for us to stop running from what we need, and embrace what we need, and apply it to our everyday life. So with that being said, y'all, I'm gonna try to catch up on a couple of these comments. The way things are today, memories of the past make me wonder what the hell happened to people. What happened to people is that we became so independent that we forgot what grandma has taught us. How grandpa told us it's okay to till the ground and come home and still be the parent that they need to be, to still be the person that can give you an embrace and it means something. That's what happened to people. We stopped following what the family has given us and allowed society to be our parents. But like I said, there's so many people not running from that. There's people running away from home to being bullshit. All because their parent told them no. I don't want you with that person. Or no, I don't want you around. I don't want you around the nonsense. Or no, I think you should finish school. Or no, I think that job is going to help you. We so busy wanting to be grown so goddamn fast, we ain't even finished growing it with understanding and wisdom. But because we're 18, we think we're grown. No, you still got maturation still going on in your life. But you want to run from that loving home just to prove what? That you may make it. You got doubt in your mind and you still running away from home. For what reason? Sit down. We sending our kids out here to 18, you gotta go. You grown. Your kid ain't grown. Your kid is just an age. But if you ain't sitting down to examine your child, you wouldn't know if they're grown or not. They still doing kid like antics, and you sending them out to the world. They're not ready for the world. All because you want to run away from being a parent. You could never run away from being a parent. The necessity of you being a parent to your child is always going to be there until you old enough not to be able to be the parent. But by that time, I pray that your child got the wisdom of understanding what it's like to be a parent, so they can take care of you. That love that you gave them all them years would be reciprocated to you. But if they're sitting there running from you because you was a trash parent, you should expect you to be in a nursing home with no visit. It's a suck thing to say. It's a sad thing to say. But the reality is, some of us are running people away from us. And that's another story for another day. So guys, I truly appreciate you guys hearing me out. I pray that, some has resonated with you, and it sticks if it works in your life, God bless you. If it doesn't, I tried. On that note, guys, I think the word is getting ready to start his live in a few minutes. We're gonna go hang out with Word and see what he got for us. Each one teach one. And as the Word would say, and what his motto of for the 9%, a better you is a better us. I'll holler at you guys later. One.